Trust that this video is finding you exactly when it needs to. As I say this, it just starts raining. That this video is finding you exactly when it needs to. There is a special message that needs to come through to you. That's why you've clicked on this video. And it's a reminder that during this time in Mercury Retrograde, we have to pay special attention to what feels like is blocking us as we're trying to move forward. If you know what I'm talking about, it's those little annoyances that keep popping up. It's those little things that aren't working out quite right. You might have an idea of how something is supposed to go, how something is supposed to move forward, and every left, right, and center seems to be not lining up the way that you think it should be. That's oftentimes why people say not to make big decisions or sign big contracts or do anything, that has a lasting effect during this time, because it's not a time for implementing new things. It's actually a time of review. And Mercury is a sign that rests in communication, in movement, in how we interact with each other and interact with the world and interact with ourselves. So when we have Mercury in retrograde, there is a strong feeling of things kind of slowing down, or almost like your feet are in quicksand, right? And you're trying to move forward, but you feel that you can't really move forward. That's because this is a time to really reevaluate and really get clear about what you want to create moving forward. This is a time when your technology might mess up. You might find yourself having more miscommunications with other people, or more, just uncomfortable things bubbling to the surface. So this is a time, if you're seeing this video, to just remember that you don't always have to be moving forward. That rest and reflection and turning inwards is also incredibly important and incredibly productive. If you are somebody like myself who likes to be productive, likes to be moving forward, has goals that they're trying to achieve, likes to have structure, Mercury retrograde can oftentimes throw a wrench in those things and just make you feel needlessly frustrated. But this is not a time actually to feel needlessly frustrated. This is a time to say thank you, because what the universe is really trying to show you is that things are still working out, okay? Things are still working out, but there's value that Mercury wants to bring to you that otherwise you might not see. So that value can come in the forms of things not working out the way that you think they should. Right? Oftentimes the ego, the mind, has an incredible idea of why things should play out the way that they should play out, or why this should work this way and it's not working. And so the universe is against me, and we make ourselves into this victim, right? So that's going to be coming up strong for many people during this time, is what goes wrong that causes me to think that I'm the victim of life, of the universe, of circumstances, right? Mercury retrograde, this specific Mercury retrograde is about, as I'm just seeing this 3:33 on the clock, it's about taking your power back, about making yourself the victor of your story. You are the hero of your story. You're not the victim of your story, right? And things might have happened to you in the past, or you might have a strong victim program mentality from family members, generational, or just your specific circumstances that happened to you. And this is a time to truly begin to shed that, to let go of when things aren't working out for me, that they actually are working out for me. I just can't see it yet, right? It's never the end of the story. If something isn't working out right now, just know that that's not the end of the story, right? And we have to become, especially in our relationships and the way that we treat our friends, our family members, our loved ones, the way that we treat them says everything about us, right? So if somebody isn't showing up for you and instantly you go into this story, right? And you start replaying, oh, nobody ever shows up for me, or I'm always giving more, or I'm always doing this and nobody's ever doing this for me, right? These are stories that we create. And these stories actually have a negative impact on us, although they make us feel safe because we know these stories like the back of our hands, right? The ego is always looking for a reason to say, aha, I knew it was like this. I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. And the trick in this Mercury retrograde is to take your power back, not be defined by your stories, to allow these things to pass through you and to say, I'm just frustrated in this moment, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be anything more. By creating stories, what we're actually doing is we're making something more than what it really is. You know, my dad always used to use the famous phrase, a mountain out of a molehill, right? So we see this little thing that's happening to us in this moment, and we end up adding more to it. We fuel the fire by adding more stories because we connect this dot and this dot and this dot and this dot all the way back until the first thing that ever happened that made us feel that way. And we pile on all those stories and say, this is why I'm just unlucky, or this is why I'm just too insignificant to matter, or this is why I'm not good at XYZ. We use stories. And stories can be beneficial. They can be incredibly beneficial, especially for learning. But when we use our stories in a way to disempower ourselves, that's when we truly are giving our power away, right? We give our power away to so many things in our day because our inward condition relies on what's going on outside of ourselves, right? We say, oh, I'll be happy when I make this amount of money. I'll be happy when I can take this vacation. I'll be happy when I have the partner of my dreams. Instead of saying, no, this is what I'm doing, and nothing outside of myself, nothing happening outside of myself can affect that. That is the biggest power move. That is the biggest flex, is when you are so secure within yourself that you know nothing outside of that can shake that. So this Mercury retrograde is going to be digging up a lot of those types of scenarios. They're going to be asking you, where do you place your power? Where is it? Is it in these little things outside of yourself, or are you truly sovereign unto who you are? And so some things that you can do during this Mercury retrograde is to begin to be really present with yourself, right? A lot of this gets shaken up and at times seem more chaotic, or people seem more volatile during these times because it's asking us to take a closer look at things that we would maybe just let pass us by, right? We just be going, and not realizing all the juice and the life that's in these lessons for us. So take a moment to be present with yourself during the day, to really slow down and become mindful about what you're doing, when, where, and how, and that will help you a lot. Let me know what's coming up for you during this Mercury retrograde in the comments. Let me know what's going on for you. How are you doing? If you're looking for more support, you can check the links down below. I'm actually in the process of creating a really special 21-day self-love challenge. So I'm super excited to be releasing this soon. This is an incredible opportunity to level up your self-love. And this is going to be on the table very, very, very soon. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and we will see you in the next video. Big love, Serena.